Thank you for staying with us here on Open House. You know, if you are in the market to upgrade from your HDB apartment into a private condo, there are lots of things to have a think about, Ryan. The questions are plenty. And, we're joined today by someone who's going to be able to answer those questions for us. And he blogs at aspiringpropertyinvestors.com. Justin Kong, who is a property wealth planner and author of that blog. Justin, thank you for making time for us today.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for having me on the show.
Right.
Hi, Justin.
Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
There are many questions that we need to ask, but my first question is also your first question, so I'll let you go first.
Yes, so this is probably, I think, the most common question. This is, should we buy the condo before we sell our flat, or should we wait and sell our flat first and then buy the condo? Which is better and why?
This sounds like a real chicken and egg story, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. This is the most commonly asked question. In general, I would recommend selling first as more important, as we do not want the seller to be caught financing two properties. It is the most painful situation to be in. I would usually do both concurrently, with selling as the initial trigger point. During the selling process, we would have viewed potential properties and have drawn up about 3 to 5 shortlisted properties to buy once we receive an offer. And when we have an offer and the buyer has exercised, we will proceed to offer for the seller's next home. We may also request for extended stay, if possible, to give the seller more time for renovation and logistical matters.
So it's very important to actually do your homework before you embark on something like this, Justin.
Yes, it is.
And now is a good time to be doing that homework, with so many of us having to work from home and to do things from home. That homework part, how important is that? The thing is, when you said sell your property first and then, buy another one, what if I'm caught in the middle? And you're so right, we need to do that concurrently. What if we're caught anyway?
What if you're caught anyway?
Yeah. That's my fear, right? Yeah. I buy and then I can't sell. I sell and then I can't buy. And then I'm stuck. And I've heard of people who need to rent properties in between before they move into their new one.
Yes. Okay, this is a matter of which is a more lesser evil. Okay, if you buy first and you can't sell, you are really in a very big headache.
Yes.
Literally almost every night you can't sleep. You have to finance two loans.
Yes.
But if you were to sell first, and if you really can't find a property that you like, you can still rent. At least financially your burden is not so heavy, because you won't be hit by another installment.
Yes, I think that's very important, particularly at this time. The lesser of two evils. Absolutely right, Ryan. Questions to 669-11938. That's our phone number to talk to Justin if you have a burning question about this particular topic today, or send us your questions via WhatsApp to 963-11938. So, Justin, the difference between upgrading from HDB to private condo or HDB upgrading to an executive condominium, what is the main difference here?
There are several differences actually, but one of the biggest one is that upgraders can buy an EC first without worrying about additional buyer stamp duty or ABSD. For condo, they may need to pay ABSD first if they haven't sold off their HDB. So for a back-to-back move, upgrading to an EC is a more better solution. And also the price points of EC are lower than that of a condo in a similar location. That's why EC has always been a very popular choice for upgraders. Also, there are potential price upside upon maturing into a fully privatized condominium. In the news, there was a minister who mentioned that buying EC is like buying a Lexus at Toyota price. Yes.
So definitely, important consideration there. But also, one of the things that will make a difference is upgraders are going to have to switch to a bank loan for the first time. Even for executive condominiums, you do have to use a bank loan. Now, what are the differences they should expect when they move away from their old HDB loan and into a bank loan?
Apart from the fact that HDB loan is only available to HDB owners, some other differences are like, example, the stability of interest rates for the first most obvious difference. Okay, HDB rates has been stable at 2.6 for a long time, whereas bank loans tend to fluctuate on a monthly basis. Next, because of these regular changes, upgraders now on bank loans must be a little bit hands-on. They need to set on calendar when their lock-in period will complete so that they can refinance again to benefit from the low interest rate at that point of time.
Apart from a bigger home loan, which is a huge consideration for many of us, what are some of the new costs that we have to keep in mind if we want to upgrade? Because purchasing a private condo does have additional costs that does not exist if you're living in an HDB property, Justin.
Mm-hmm. Apart from increase of installment, upgraders need to factor in expenses such as condo maintenance fee, increase in property tax. Like an upside of everything, including lifestyle, they can enjoy facilities like swimming pool, gym, barbecue, everything right at your doorstep.
But all this comes at a price.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because some of the private condos, as I understand it, they do have quite high facility fees as well, depending on the size of the condo you're buying into.
Yes, you're right. For mid to bigger developments, because there are many units, so there are many owners sharing the cost, whereas in a smaller boutique development, maybe not many owners, so the cost of the maintenance will be higher.
So do brace for that, because most condos they do collect on a quarterly basis. So when those maintenance fees come, do be braced for them. Now, with that in mind, how do we know whether we're in the right financial position to upgrade? Can you share some guidelines with our listeners, Justin?
Sure. In our property wealth planning strategies, we generally look at two major components for a family looking to upgrade. The first will be if the client has enough cash together with CPF to pay for the down payment for the purchase of the condominium. The most ideal situation is when the client sells their existing property and there are sufficient cash proceeds to pay for this down payment. There are instances also that upgraders have sufficient profit unlocked from their HDB that can double up as a safety net to cover for installments in case of emergencies. And safety nets are excess cash or CPF set aside to pay for their mortgages in case of their incomes are affected. Next critical component will be the affordability. We need to make sure that the client is comfortable with the foreseeable installment they're going to pay. The most important criteria is prudence. Our calculated numbers must be comfortable for the upgraders and not be stressful for them. So in summary, we want our clients to upgrade to a condo or EC smoothly without touching their savings with a safety net.
At the end of the day, Justin, I go back to your original point. Homework is very important. Yes. You do need to do your sums and then do your background checks and homework way before you even make that first move.
Yes, you're right.
The last thing we want is stress. Justin, thank you so much for making time today for us.
Thank you very much, Susan, for having me on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Justin is a property wealth planner and he blogs at aspiringpropertyinvestors.com. And we thank Justin for making time today for us on Open House. Well, that's all the time that we have, Ryan.